So I'm not gonna lie, up until a week or so ago, I was totally slacking on winter 2021 anime. I've only really been keeping up to date with sequels like Attack on Titan and Doctor Stone and ReZero, which the last one I'm not even caught up on anymore. But I decided after checking out Mushoku Tensei to keep expanding because, it was incredible. Honestly, after watching Redo of Healer as one of the first shows of this season, I feel like most people would be discouraged to keep watching anime. And I found Wonder Egg Priority, which I also had heard great things about. And so I went into watching it yesterday with no knowledge of what it was about at all, other than that it was good. And wow. Along with Mushoku Tensei, it has truly impressed me and given me hope for a really great year of anime after, the pretty boring year of anime that was 2020. Wonder Egg Priority is incredibly insightful into the human psyche, specifically considering suicide, an incredibly prominent issue in Japan to this day. In October of last year, more people died from suicide in Japan than from COVID for the entirety of 2020, surging to a monthly high that hasn't been seen in the country since 2015. It's a very sensitive topic, one that anime aren't necessarily shy to touch upon, but it's rarely seen in such a prominent manner as it is in Wonder Egg Priority, with its entire plot essentially revolving around the suicide of young girls. But Wonder Egg Priority deals with these issues in a very touching and interesting and entertaining way, one that reminds me a lot of the iconic Puella Magi Madoka Magica series from 2011. I probably butchered that, I know, sorry. If you aren't watching Wonder Egg Priority, I suggest you start soon, as the season is coming to a close. It's truly one of the more unique and standout shows I've seen recently, something that I wouldn't say lightly. And today I'm going to talk about what it's all about and why I honestly love it. Also, if you're part of that 95% of my viewers who watch my videos but aren't subbed yet, make sure to subscribe. Join us here at the Anime Culture Corner. You won't regret it. Let's go. The story follows a young girl, Ai Oto, who's been bullied and alienated her whole life because she has heterochromia, a genetic condition where your eyes are two different colors, which I honestly think is pretty sick, but I don't know. And after her best and only friend, Koito, commits suicide, Oto loses touch with reality and is enticed into purchasing an egg from a mysterious entity, a Wonder Egg. Upon cracking this egg in her dreams, Oto is transported to a world where she must save other girls from monsters, or rather, their own demons. The girls who hatch from a Wonder Egg have all committed suicide, and Oto must help them overcome the monsters that tormented them in their life, the reason and manifestation for their suffering and eventual suicide. And by saving girls like this, Oto is rewarded slowly by the chance to save Koito and get her best friend back. But it's not so simple as just a dream. In fact, while injuries regenerate quickly in the dream as they fight off these monsters, these embodiments of trauma, any wound they suffer there still exists once they enter the real world again. It's essentially the same as a human if they had no pain sensors. You can keep going, sure, but if you don't recognize the damage to your body before it's too late, then you might end up past the point of no return. And it also brings up the constant question of how far Oto is willing to go to save her friend. Is she willing to hurt herself day in and day out to save her? Is she willing to die for this? But most of all, does Koito even want this? One of the most significant philosophical questions that Wonder Egg Priority poses is whether buying Wonder Eggs, saving these girls, is truly to save the girls who killed themselves, or whether it's to save yourself. A selfish act meant to just relieve you of the guilt of letting your friend die, even if they themselves wanted to end it all and wouldn't even want to come back. It's terrible to think about, and Wonder Egg Priority touches upon it masterfully. There are so many great parts about Wonder Egg Priority, but surely one of the best to me was the dynamic between the four main character girls, all of whom are trying to save someone they lost through Wonder Eggs. And though they all use the same method through Wonder Eggs, none of them have the same exact reason or origins or relationship to the person who they're trying to save. Essentially, everyone has their own distinct trauma. As we get deeper into the show, we follow each of them individually through the loss that drove them to become Wonder Egg girls, I'll call them. And all four of them are super interesting. All of them are fleshed out to great depths, and as they enter these worlds and try to save these girls from their monsters, they have to combat their own issues at the same time. They can even be tempted by these inner demons of other girls, as they're all very human problems. Being molested, abused, bullied, these are all issues that Wonder Egg Priority faces that manifest in these dreams and that the girls have to fight. And there's also a sense of mystery to the show that keeps the plot moving. What are Wonder Eggs? Why do they exist? But also we unravel Koito's story, a suicide that isn't so simple as just bullying. Oto wants to understand why her best friend wouldn't confide in her and took her life instead. And through this story we explore her guilt and mistakes, and oh my god, I just love it. I know I was gushing about Mushoku Tensei a couple days ago, but for me, Wonder Egg Priority has become more of a personal favorite. As a Mushishi and Steins Gate and Monogatari series lover, you can kind of tell my tastes. The dark, intense philosophical questioning, it's right up my alley. The animation is impeccable, there's never a weak moment, and the style goes well with the very colorful tones used. Just like Puella Magi Madoka Magica, which I mentioned earlier, it subverts your expectations with the very colorful and playful exterior that covers the dark discussions beneath the surface. If you haven't seen Puella Magi Madoka Magica, it has a similar concept of a number of girls finding a magical, mysterious entity who offers them power to fulfill their dreams. But of course, as I said, it is way darker than it first seems. And it's one of, if not the most prominent anime within the magical girl genre to do this back in 2011. I highly recommend it, especially if you're enjoying Wonder Egg Priority. It's a great show. The OST is also great. It's got like this really cute ambient music when the girls are together and very smoothly switches into electronic action music when they begin fighting or enter a dream. It helps to create this really cool contrast between the dream world and the real world, both of which are tainted with trauma and sadness, unfortunately. Which I think the show also wants to emphasize, that there is no escape to your problems, in your dreams or in death. Instead, you must deal with them, or just learn to live with it. Suicide is one of the saddest things that can happen to someone you know and love, and Wonder Egg Priority doesn't fail to discuss it in a really creative and interesting way. And that's it for me. You've gotta watch Wonder Egg Priority. It truly amazed me, and I cannot wait to see how this season finishes. It's setting a great start to 2021, along with Mushoku Tensei, of course. It's really exciting stuff. As always, this has been the Anime Culture Corner. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment what you think down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future in-depth show, manga, and character analyses.